Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a good week. It's almost over, almost Friday. As usual, it's been kind of a wild week here in Trump's America. And I just wanted to bring up a few things, a few thoughts that I had on what's been going on this week. One of the most remarkable developments, it's been going on for a couple weeks actually, is the potential conversion of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, she's had what you might call a moral epiphany. She draws a line at pedophilia. Yeah, so to her credit, she has been very vocal about the release of the Epstein files, and she's been very supportive of the women who were Epstein's victims, and she's getting a lot of shit for it. She's getting a lot of shit from the Republicans, and she's getting a lot of pressure from Trump, the administration, people in Trump's orbit, and she's not caving in. Now, I'm not convinced that she's going to switch over to the Bernie Sanders camp or anything like that. I really don't know where this is going with her, but it's kind of significant because she's been such a vocal supporter of MAGA for so long. And now for the first time, she is calling bullshit on some of this stuff that's going on, particularly related to the Epstein files. She's also been speaking out against Israel, I believe. What's going on in the Gaza Strip. So this is something to keep an eye on. Next topic. There was a big meeting of generals and admirals at Quantico in Virginia this week. Pete Hegseth was the man of the hour. He gave a rather provocative speech that really drew a lot of attention, particularly because he called out some of the military brass. He stated quite explicitly that there will be no fatties in the armed services. And to be quite honest, I thought he was talking about joints, as in smoke a fatty. But I learned later that he was actually talking about the weight, how many pounds, extra pounds, some of these generals and admirals are carrying. Apparently he thinks it's a bad look for the armed services and for the U.S. in general if our leading brass is overweight. So he wants to require that some of these guys pass certain physical tests. I'm not sure if there are going to be any specific guidelines. I know the PT test that is given to the lower ranking officials was brought up. I don't know if they're actually going to hold these 60 and 70-year-old generals and admirals to these standards, physical fitness standards, same physical fitness standards, but we'll have to see what that goes. All right, next on the list, there are still a ton of conspiracy theories, and they seem to be multiplying, surrounding the Charlie Kirk shooter. They just keep getting wilder and wilder. And, there's a lot of doubt cast now on whether Tyler Robinson even actually shot Charlie Kirk from a roof with the rifle. One thing that I've heard spoken about quite a bit is the type of rifle that was used is apparently very powerful, and it's used for elk hunting. And there is no way that a bullet from that kind of weapon would not have blown Kirk's head clean off. So what gives? I'm also hearing that it's unlikely, as reported, that he assembled and disassembled the gun, the rifle, several times apparently, and also put it in a backpack. Gun experts are saying there's no way that type of gun could have fit in a backpack. So, yeah, the theories are flying. They're wild. Some people are saying that he wasn't even shot from a rooftop, but the one that they said that he was shot from, but that perhaps there was a shooter on another rooftop, one that was facing the stage that Charlie Kirk was on. I've also heard a theory that he was wearing, Charlie Kirk was wearing an earpiece that possibly detonated. That's crazy. I've also heard that the shooter was sitting behind Charlie Kirk. So who the fuck knows what's going on with this? It's crazy. A lot of people, it's very weird because there are people on the right who are questioning the official story about what happened. And the reason that's strange is that, as we all know, the Trump administration is trying to pin this on the radical left. That would be very convenient. So why are there Republicans who would love to pin this on the radical left coming up with these crazy theories? Food for thought. And then, the big topic of the day is the government shutdown, the ongoing government shutdown. We're in day 2. So, while government officials are, hanging out at the country club or watching Netflix, I don't know what the fuck they do when there's a government shutdown. While that's going on, the rest of us regular Americans, we're still on our jobs every day, doing what we need to do. So there's no shutdown for us. Only for these guys. Of course, idiots on both sides are playing the blame game. Democrats want to blame the Republicans want to blame the Democrats. But I gotta say, it doesn't look good for the Republicans, because they have all the power right now. They have the presidency, they have the House, the Senate, they dominate the Supreme Court. I think they have more power than any administration has ever or had recently. I can't. I'd have to dig into their history files to find out when there was an administration that has as much power as they have now. So, yeah, it seems like the onus is on them. All that power and they can't prevent a shutdown? Alright, that's it for now, folks. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Have a good rest of your week.